Hey, there were so many changes with PvP with the last update. I wanted to give a second PvP video right away and show some more updates and progress. So let's look at the battle log. I've gotten a lot better with my attacks. Generally, I've had a lot of success. You can see I've only actually had one more defense, so one more person attack, and it's just outside of the 5 that they record, but another one that didn't live through the first round. So here, let's look at some of these. They all go pretty quickly, so we'll go ahead and replay some. I think you'll see some progression even within these battles. I was getting better the further, the more battles I had. This one was fairly close, but we had to take a hit right away and almost took Willow out. And then we had Shadowblade just finish her off. So we were already down one character before we get any chance to go. And that's a little bit of a risk. If you're going to run this party, usually it's best to try to find a group that doesn't have a couple fast players in it. And part of success with PvP is being able to pick the right group to go against. So here, we were able to take one out. And I knew that we would likely, it was very difficult for IGOROK to be taken out, and they didn't have anyone that was going to put a status effect on him, likely. And so he could do the freeze. Unfortunately, both of those characters are fast and have extra dodge on top of it, and so it was really hard to hit them. But IGOROK's so tough and has a pretty hard hit, so he can withstand a lot of damage. We're just trying to finish off. Once Shadowblade's dodge goes off, then it's really easy to hit him and finish him off. I was actually hoping to use that higher damage skill so I could just finish him off with IGOROK and use that higher damage on Willow. But here, now that it's 2-on-1, it's a little easier, but Willow got her sniper shot in time and was able to take IGOROK out. So it did come down to the last character here, but we were able to finish off with a win. Again, probably not the best group to go against with 2 fast characters. Alright, this next team didn't have any fast characters, and in fact had a slow character in there, and so I knew I could get out in front of him with IGOROK, but I needed to take out some of the other characters right away, especially Tsumi. You've got to, if you're going to have this fast, have Death Blossom and Bladestorm, you've got to take out Tsumi. You can't leave him to wreak havoc on your team when he's at half health. So unfortunately, I don't have one more fast character to do multi-person effect and take those 2 out. You've got to suffer through Sumo Stomp and then the Get Over Here skill. So the first doesn't do any real damage, but we're probably going to lose Willow to something like that every time. We get Polar Pounding, and with that Daze, you've got a fair chance to miss. Luckily, it came out alright during this battle, and now when you've got 3-on-1, it's not too hard to finish off their tank. Speed that up a little bit. Daze taking effect. But we've got 2 characters basically at full health still. And we just mop him up. Alright, for this group, again, they've got a slow character. This time it is Chief NubNub. And with this team, I actually really like to go against teams with Chief NubNub. And the reason is, he doesn't have all that high of damage. If I can take out a couple of their characters, and potentially even freeze him, then it doesn't present a whole lot of risk. We can always drain him down over time after we've taken out the other characters. So here we've got to make a decision on who to take out with Willow. But it's an easy decision because our party wouldn't live through Tsumi using his his Soul Shred ability. So we're going to lose Willow there. and everyone will take a hit from Whirlwind. But the team can live through that, so that's not too bad. Then we get to use Polar Pounding, and there's no daze effect. That was another reason I wanted to pick this defending team to battle against. If there's a, I've got a 2 or 3, I think this group was at level 50, okay, 51 now, so I've got a 3-level bonus, and IGOROK is going with no daze, then he's basically definitely going to hit freeze on Chief NubNub, so he's not going to get that the first turn, and we can just finish him off. So a good team to go against for that reason as well. Alright, we're going on our 4th battle. Here we've got all level 49s, we got a 2-level bonus over them. There's Tsumi, we're going to have to take him out first. But we know we might take some hits. They've got 3 of their characters that could potentially do Mass Effect spells. Really nice thing is we got lucky and had a critical hit on Tsumi. And there's going to be more and more of that once I get the next Ascension for Black Diamond. And that'll increase her crit and increase Masuta's crit. So now I had to choose which to take out at that point. I knew I could live through Chaos Storm, it wouldn't be too bad. Probably we could win either way. But Bovus would set the energy back one and I wouldn't be able to use Polar Pounding this turn. So I took him out instead so that I could use Polar Pounding in that next turn. Then their whole party's dead. We've got our whole party alive. Just the resurrected form of Pontifex there. And he doesn't get to go in that first slow turn. He's a slow character. So you really get that whole next round to take him out. Alright, this last battle is actually a loss, but I wanted to go through kind of the logic for it and what went wrong. So, with 3 of the characters being fire-based, and we're likely not going to be able to take IGOROK out, and they're not going to be able to put a status effect on him, or likely won't, because it's unlikely that Lady Nimriel will use her effect on him. Normally she would do that on Willow, take her out for sure. Then there's a pretty good chance that we could do Polar Pounding as soon as it gets to his turn and finish anybody else off. That all requires taking out Tsumi, and normally that's not a problem, but this is the oh crap moment. He has just a sliver of health, which means he's going to do massive damage with a 3.75 multiplier on his damage. It's amazing that anyone lived through it. I guess we just had a 3.5 there. Luckily Masuta dodged, but he can't take out all 3 on his own. Now, one reason that happened is that Tsumi is a 4-star, and my Willow is only a 3-star. We did have 2 other attacks that went first that, hopefully would have taken the health down. I think, many times, probably most times, if you did this like 10 times, most of them you would be able to take Tsumi out, but we just barely didn't have enough damage and weren't able to finish him off. In the future, I'll have 4-star Willow. That's going to come up, I think, in 4 or 5 days from now with the current farming rate. And also, when I get the next Ascension for Black Diamond, then that should increase the skill and attack, the skill and crit rate for all light characters. So Masuta and Black Diamond will have increased attack with their first 2 skills as well. So hopefully that won't be an issue in the future. That battle could have gone very well for us, but had that turnaround at the end. This defending team, I'll just say as a last remark, I'm getting very few attacks, and I myself would not want to go against a team that looked like this. There's just too much of a chance that my fast characters are going to get taken out. Even if I used a normal or slow team, there's 4 multi-person attacks that are going to come, and it's very hard for anyone to live through that. Probably a couple of the tanks, someone like Stonefist might be able to live through and he wouldn't be frozen, but he'd probably be alone, and he would have almost no health left. And if you brought Chief NubNub, he would almost certainly die, so there's not a lot of coming back from that. So the teams worked really well. If you want to try it out as well, I guess it's probably going to work well for you also. Let's see, for this leaderboard, we just started a new one, a new leaderboard today. One thing I had noticed on the previous leaderboards, the number 2 person had like 20 successful defenses and no attacks. So again, I think this is an unintended consequence. People that can move up without that. I'm not seeing it on this board as much, but on the last one, I guess partly because people were still figuring out the process, somebody that potentially it could be an entirely inactive account was going to get the number 2 place on the leaderboard. So that was kind of an interesting thing that came out of there. Here, it's very early. You can see there's only, I'm in like 48th place, but it's also very early in the game, and there's only about 100 trophies separating me between my place and the number 2 person. So with a couple more attacks, I can move right up the board. That's it for this video. Please let me know if it helped, and if you have any other specific questions about PvP. And thanks again for watching.